Hey, welcome back to another episode. I'm sitting here in San Francisco, just next to the Aquatic Center. I thought I'd make a video about San Francisco in general, why I'm here, what brought me here, and maybe why a lot of people end up in this area, especially if you're into tech. So I'll just get with it. San Francisco, in terms of places, seems to have everything. So think about it like this: you have a place that it's near the ocean. You have everything associated with the ocean. So you got sailing. Behind me actually is a bunch of sailboats. You got major ports in Oakland where things get shipped in. Although I've heard that it's actually cheaper to ship things into LA because of taxes and stuff. But you got Oakland. Then you have all the outdoors stuff. So you have the redwood forest. You have decently good weather, although it's been a little bit chilly lately. So in terms of climate, you got a really great place. I wouldn't say it's the healthiest in terms of like pollution and stuff, though. Actually, after being here for a year or two, it's not that great. Actually, I feel like there is quite a bit of pollution here. But you're on a coastal area, so it doesn't seem like there's as much pollution. Then the next thing that San Francisco has going for itself is you have the financial center. So in America, you have about 3 financial centers. New York is the biggest, and obviously that's the one that most people think about. But then you have Chicago and San Francisco. And so wherever you have financial centers, you're going to have essentially a lot of money, which means that there's a lot of opportunity to build things. So, for example, when I was living in Utah, even the company I was working for, they would come to San Francisco to get financed, and that's because all the money is here. You also have kind of a lot of, coming out of Berkeley, you have a lot of highly educated financial quants that basically changed the game. So that really put San Francisco on the map in terms of what could be done, because you got a lot of technology that's starting to compete with the different the different financial institutions. So that's one reason. Also, one thing that struck me, you can go about this thinking, either 2 ways. One, I want to find a place and I want to build there, right? So maybe you want to build that city. Maybe you want to go to Salt Lake City and build the new Silicon Valley, right? But it's kind of like the bigger places actually suck in more talent faster too. So it's not just they suck in more talent, but they suck it in faster. With that being said, I do think there are certain limitations to thinking that way, especially in a world of computers where you can hire somebody remotely, and that's not a huge deal anymore. So San Francisco has that. So you have 2 great schools here. You got Stanford and you got Berkeley, and those schools really bring in a lot of people. You also have a giant melting pot. So, for instance, if you want to go to the embassy for whatever nationality you represent, it's probably in San Francisco. A good example is the Philippines. They have the Philippines consul here. So if you want to send in your passport, everything's just here in San Francisco. So it does definitely feel like the center of the world in a lot of ways. And there are a ton of really great benefits. Now, negative things though. A lot of people, crazy astronomical prices. You could argue you get what you pay for, maybe. But it's worth it if you use it, right? So if you're like a homebody that really just doesn't get out, is gonna not really go out and do stuff, San Francisco is not a great place to be. You'll do great in a little cabin in Montana paying $200 a month, and you own your place, and you don't have the stress, and maybe get a job out of San Francisco, right? But you're not gonna do so super great here because it's just so pricey. Unless, of course, you're super rich, right? So I'm talking to everybody that doesn't have, a few $1,000,000 to spend on a home, because if you want to buy a house here, you're looking at $1 to $2 million, and that's not that's not like extravagant. That's just basic. You want to go extravagant, then you're talking a few $1,000,000. So yeah, anyway, San Francisco, I think it's a great place. You got the ports, you got the technology, the people. I view San Francisco a little bit like I view Las Vegas, though. It's a great place to be for a little bit, but I would not raise a family here, actually. Maybe that was different, in the 90s or pre-90s when these big tech companies were still building a name for San Francisco. But I wouldn't really come here thinking that I was going to start a family and settle down and this kind of stuff, because it's really more for the young, ambitious men and women that want to come here, make a name for themselves, do a big impact thing, and grow. With that being said, you could sort of build a life for yourself if you get plugged into maybe a Google or a Facebook or whatnot, which a ton of people do, so that's a personal preference. My biggest thing is that I love about this place is you got the ocean, but it's not as warm. Let me see if I can turn this around for you, so you can see what I'm talking about. Or I guess I can't turn it around while I'm doing a video. But here we go. Hold on. So you got the aquatic, but I'm just sitting right here, right? Pretty cool. Anyway, that's my thought for the day. I actually like this place. Hey, if anyone actually ever watches this and you want to talk about something, put something in the comments and I will discuss it. Yeah, hopefully this channel ends up being something more about deep thought. It's something that I enjoy, and hopefully we can get some great discussions. Reply in a video too. I don't know, does YouTube still do that? They did that back in the day, so I love video replies. Then we can really get a conversation going. All right, talk to you later.